Two poor twin brothers, Arav and Arjun, lived in a broken-down mud house on the edge of the city, a place where the world rarely bothered to look. They were mirror images of each other in appearance but carried different storms within. Arav was the soft-spoken dreamer who believed that kindness could mend almost anything, while Arjun was fierce and stubborn, hardened by years of hunger and humiliation. Their father had died when they were young, leaving behind only debts, and their mother worked endlessly at nearby houses to make sure at least one meal reached her sons every night. Despite poverty, the brothers carried a certain dignity, a quiet fire inside them. They were known in their neighborhood for their honesty, even when life tempted them toward shortcuts. They did odd jobs, lifting sacks at the market, delivering newspapers, repairing bicycles, anything that earned 10 rupees. They shared everything: their food, their failures, their hopes. But they never imagined that one decision, one impossible moment of courage, would drag them into a world where the poor rarely survive, into the life of a billionaire's daughter named Kiara Malhotra. The day their fate changed began like any other. The sun was cruel, beating down as the brothers walked home after a long morning at the market. Their stomachs growled, and the little money they earned was barely enough for half a meal. As they crossed the quiet road near Ridgewood Hill, a shining black car sped past them almost violently. Arav jumped back, startled. Arjun shouted, "Are they blind?" But before the brothers could complain further, a second car, dark windows, tinted heavy, suspiciously quiet, pulled up behind the first one. The door burst open, and 3 masked men rushed out. The brothers froze. They saw a girl, maybe their age, dressed in an elegant white dress, running desperately down the pavement. Her voice trembled as she screamed, "Help! Someone help me!" The masked men lunged at her. Without thinking, Arjun sprinted first. Arav followed, though fear shook his legs. They didn't know who she was. They didn't know what danger they were stepping into. All they knew was that the girl needed help, and the world around her seemed too rich, too cold, too busy to stop. Arjun tackled the first man with a force he didn't know he had. The second one grabbed Arav by the collar, but Arav swung a brick lying on the ground and struck him on the arm. The girl stumbled backward, terrified but watching the impossible bravery of 2 boys she had never met. The third masked man pulled out a knife. Arjun's breath stopped. He had never faced a blade before. But he stepped in front of the girl anyway. "Run!" he shouted. Instead, she grabbed a fallen stick and swung it towards the attacker. It didn't do much damage, but it distracted him just enough. In the chaos, the sound of approaching cars and guards echoed through the road. The masked men panicked, jumped back into their vehicle, and sped away. Silence stretched wide. Arav panted heavily, staring at the girl. Arjun wiped sweat from his forehead, pretending not to shake. The girl's voice broke first. You saved me. Do you know who I am?" Arjun muttered, "Someone who was about to be kidnapped." She blinked at his bluntness. "I'm Kiara Malhotra." The brothers exchanged glances. They knew the name. Everyone did. She was the only daughter of Aryan Malhotra, the billionaire whose face appeared in newspapers, whose companies soared across the world. The girl they had just defended belonged to a world beyond their imagination. Cars screeched to a stop beside them. Security guards jumped out, guns raised, scanning the area. One of them rushed to Kiara. "Miss Malhotra, are you hurt? What happened?" Before she could answer, more guards circled. The brothers as if they were threats. Kiara raised her hand. "No, they saved my life." Her words cut through the tension. Moments later, they were taken to the Malhotra mansion, a mansion so large it felt like another country. Marble floors, golden railings, chandeliers brighter than stars. Arav felt out of place immediately, and Arjun looked like a lion refusing to bow. Aryan Malhotra arrived with urgency like thunder. His eyes were sharp, powerful, and worried as he held his daughter. "Kiara, are you all right?" She nodded, then pointed at the twins. "Because of them." The billionaire turned toward the brothers. His expression softened with something rare, respect. "Thank you," he said, but his voice carried a weight that made their hearts thump. "Whoever tried to kidnap my daughter won't stop easily. I need to know who you boys are." Arjun answered boldly, "We're no one important." Arav whispered, "Just neighbors trying to help." Aryan Malhotra studied them, as if he could see through their souls. Finally, he said something they never expected. "I want you two to stay here. as Kiara's protectors. The brothers were stunned. Guards. Them. In this palace-like mansion. Arav stammered. Sir, we're just poor. Arjun finished, shoulders tight. Aryan didn't flinch. Poor doesn't mean incapable, and courage like yours can't be bought. And so, their lives changed overnight. They received clean clothes, a room with soft beds, luxuries they had never touched before. Kiara visited them often, curious about the boys who had risked their lives for her. She and Arav bonded over books, dreams, kindness. Arjun remained cautious, but even he softened as Kiara treated them with unexpected warmth. For the first time, the brothers felt seen, not as poor boys, but as something more. Yet danger lurked like a shadow waiting to strike. One evening, when the mansion lights glittered like a festival, Kiara entered the garden where the twins were training with the guards. I found something, she said, holding a small device. It was in my room. Arav frowned. Arjun grabbed it. A tracker. The guards panicked. Security tightened. Aryan Malhotra was furious. This isn't a simple kidnapping attempt, he said. Someone close to us is involved. The mansion buzzed with suspicion. But the real blow came when Kiara, brave and stubborn, decided she would go to college as usual. I can't live in fear, she told her father. The twins rode with her in an armored car. At first everything seemed normal. Students rushed around. Laughter echoed. But Arav felt uneasy, a strange silence behind the noise. Then Arjun noticed a shadow near the staircase. Something's wrong, he whispered. The next moment, chaos erupted. Smoke bombs burst across the hallway. Students screamed. Masked men, more than before, rushed in. This time they weren't taking chances. Kiara, run. Arjun pushed her behind him. Arav locked the doors, blocking the attackers for a second, but only a second. It wasn't enough. One of the men pulled out a gun. Arjun didn't think. He shoved Kiara aside, taking the hit across his shoulder. He collapsed with a cry. Arav roared, a sound filled with rage he never knew. He threw himself at the attackers with everything he had. Fury, fear, desperation. Kiara tried to drag Arjun away, tears streaming. Please. Stay awake. The attackers surrounded them. All seemed lost. But help came in the form of a miracle. The police stormed in. Aryan Malhotra arrived moments later, breathless, terrified, not for himself, but for his daughter and the boys who had become family. The attackers were captured, and soon the truth unraveled. The kidnapping was orchestrated by Aryan's own business rival, someone who wanted to destroy him by taking the only person he loved most. Arjun was rushed to the hospital. Arav refused to leave his side. Kiara held their hands, trembling. When Arjun finally opened his eyes, Kiara broke down. Arav laughed through tears. The billionaire entered the room, voice thick with emotion. You didn't just save my daughter, he said. You protected my family. From today onward, you are part of it. The brothers couldn't speak. Their whole lives they had been invisible, unwanted, forgotten by the world. But now, because of their courage, their brotherhood, their hearts, they found a place they never imagined. The mansion didn't change who they were. They remained the same poor boys at heart, humble, grateful, loyal. But the world around them changed forever. Arav discovered education he could never dream of. Arjun found a strength inside himself that became admired across the city. And Kiara found two brothers she never had. Two protectors who would die for her, but more importantly, two souls that taught her what real bravery looked like. The world began to call their story a miracle. But to the twins, it was simple. When you have nothing, you still have a choice. And that choice, to stand up, to fight, to protect, can rewrite destinies. What happened next didn't just break Kiara's heart. It healed it, and in doing so, it healed theirs too. Because sometimes, the poorest people carry the richest courage. And sometimes, heroes come from the places the world ignores.